I'm Amanda. I'm 6.
I wanted to record this last week, but I got sick. So today we're starting a series where we play old games, and it's going to be called Nostalgia Kick. Our first game will be Scribblenauts. Let's start with a brief summary of the story. It begins with these two who compete to see who's the best bitch in the house. But in the end, it wasn't a competition, but a marriage proposal.
Oh, hell no!
They then start having children. And they don't stop. The parents give their two favorite children because favoritism is a real thing with magical stuff until the boy gives a rotten apple to a hungry old man who didn't like it, so he casts a spell on the sister that turns her into stone. The big bro says he has to collect some stars to save his sister, and that's pretty much it. There's no worse turning off for me than tutorials. This is a tutorial-free channel. We started in the capital city, and our first client was the bored boy. He wanted something to entertain him. The first thing I thought of was to create another boy, but that didn't impress him. So I created a ball and gave it to both boys, but nothing happened. Then I stole the ball from the boy and it started bouncing so much that I wasn't able to catch it. Since the addition of the boy wasn't giving any results, I decided to create a clown, and he brought the entire circus. Bored boy liked it, so mission accomplished. Our next client was a car that was illegally parked. The first thing I thought of was giving a ticket to this irresponsible person, but it wasn't working, so I decided to throw the ticket away, and a traffic officer spawned, smacked me with a notepad, and gave me a parking violation. Mrs. Officer still looked angry, so I decided to give her a bouquet of roses. But the game wasn't understanding the word rose, so I chose the word royal. I gave the bouquet to the lady, but she couldn't care less, so I took it back and threw it in the trash. And I even left a gigantic cockroach for her.
This is the skin of a killer, Bill.
Anyway, let's go to our first establishment, St. Asterisk Hospital. We started by helping patients that the ambulance brought in. It shouldn't be that difficult. The first patient was a cat. Well, I added the adjective healthy. It said it worked, but then this alert appeared. So I tried to give the cat tea, but I don't think he was a fan of it, judging by how he ran away. The second patient was a denture. I tried to write brush, but thought it would be better to say toothbrush, but it wasn't working until I realized I was writing it in plural. Finally, when I had managed to create the toothbrush, it fell behind the denture and I couldn't pick it up. Then out of nowhere, a nosy doctor arrives with a brush and solves my case.
What a loser.
I then had the brilliant idea of creating a doctor to help me. This time, nothing could go wrong.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. They sent us a robot. I gave a diploma of intelligence to the doctor so he could help me, but he didn't. I needed to think fast because the patient's life was in my hands now. I tried to create oil, but it wasn't working, so I tried to make it in other ways until I saw the oil rig. I didn't know it was literally that, but it worked. Look at our robot and the oil rig going away happy. I almost didn't see our third patient because apparently it was a book and a doctor here picked it up. I thought he was messing up too much with my cases, so I revoked his diploma and threw it in the trash. Now I could create a writer to finish the book and we could move on to the fourth patient. A car. I didn't waste time and called a mechanic. She fixed the car and they went away happily ever after. With that, we got our first star from the hospital. But the work was far from over. When I went up to the next floor, I came across this painting. I wanted to add hair to our friend here, but I think I didn't express myself well. Now he's hairy. And the only thing I could do now was to make the whole body match. I created a Chewbacca and I got happy with it. The upstairs was busy. An angry heart wanted to beat the nurse and she was afraid of having a heart attack. So I did what was necessary. I stopped the heart and saved the day. Our orthopedist was asking for new equipment for the hospital. So I typed equipment and I chose the most necessary one, a cloning machine. It worked so well that it even exploded. And you won't believe who spawned. King Arthur who came a lot.
didn't they?
Well, I used the machine to clone myself and try to make my clone a magician, but the game wasn't understanding it, so I made him an agitated person. This caused him to start a fight with the knight. King Arthur and I stood watching to see who would win, but I realized the fight wasn't fair, so I gave a shield to my clone, which he used as a weapon. Anyway, the knight won the fight, and I gave the shield to him. Our next client wanted something painted with his team colors to win the race. I created a flag and changed it to blue. They competed and blue won. Before I continued, I needed to go back to the farm to give my sister the world. Then I exploded and returned to the hospital to continue my service. I grabbed my patient's wheelchair and went to the top floor. The paramedic said she left behind what she was going to deliver to a patient, so I created a liver. She picked it up, put it in the case, and left by helicopter. I ended up helping this stork who forgot what it was about to deliver, so I created a baby, but I didn't want it to just be any baby, so I tried to give it superpowers. He got a little bigger and I handed him to the stork who flew away with him. The hospital was finished and it was time for the next place. But this video, it's already too long, so
Stop it. Get some help.